Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm super happy that it's Wednesday because it's, one of my favorite days of the year. Everyone always says, oh, it's hump day, hump day. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I like to give it a different meaning. So, welcome in. All right, so this Wellness Wednesday, I want to figure out what mistakes we're all making in our weekly schedules. We all figure out the really crucial things like deadlines for important work projects, or we figure out how to get to that super important appointment and make it happen. We don't want to miss out on, meetings with clients and things like that. But then when it comes to our own self-care, and I know everyone hates that word now. We've all wrecked it. We've wrecked wellness. We've wrecked the word self-care. Now I see ads online that say, all those gurus who say that you have to spend your morning doing self-care are full of it. And I'm like, well, you don't have to spend your whole morning. And that's one of the mistakes that you're making, is you are thinking that you have to completely rearrange your life and have no room for self-care. Either it's the all or nothing kind of attitude, right? So I want to get over that today. I want to really take a look. If I were to open up your schedule, whatever that is, your planner, is it scraps of paper all over your desk with sticky notes? Is it Google Calendar, iCal? Is it a written out something? What would I find on your calendar? Would I be able to determine what the 5 most important things are for you to do, for instance, in your business? If you're, a female entrepreneur and you want to promote your business or grow your business or serve your clients better, if I opened up your schedule, would I know what moves you're making? Or are you just responding to busy work, letting the days slip by, and not really putting the attention and time into the things that are absolutely going to move the needle for you? Same thing like with your personal self-care and your health. Are you putting that in there? Can I see where your workouts are? Can I see where you meditate? Can I see how you fit your hobbies or time with your family or recreation into your schedule? Or is it so full of other people's demands that you don't even know if you're coming or going? And then all of a sudden, all this time goes by. Think about the last 1 year of pandemic, right? I don't like to bring it up very often, but it's a very good marker of how we were conducting our lives up to a certain point, and how in some way everyone has been asked to rearrange something about their life and really take those priorities and get them straight and get them down and make it happen for yourself, rather than thinking that you have to respond to every little request for your time or every notification that comes in or every ask at the PTA meetings and stuff like that. We don't have to say yes to all that. We figured out, I think, that we can pare our lives down and make them more valuable by actually, dare I say it, doing less. Could be. So let's figure it out. Let's see what is happening in your schedule and how we can make it more efficient, more productive, and more enjoyable. Are you with me? All right, here we go. 4 mistakes you're making in your weekly schedule. And let's just take a nice little breath before we hurl ourselves into more information. And here we've got the to-do list. I actually love this photo, the to-do list photo I have here. I love making my to-do lists. I love rewriting my calendar. Yes, I keep an online calendar and a handwritten calendar. But let's just take a moment. My tea is still too hot, but it makes my hands nice and warm after working on the keyboard all day. All right. Let's just take a moment and take some nice deep breaths. So let me scoot here. Sit up nice and straight. So I want you to take your breath from up here to down here. Just deepen it up, slow it down. So maybe some of you can hear the little doggy outside who's barking and the mama yelling no, and the birds that are chirping, and all kinds of life happening all the time. But I feel like we are so in here and so in here that we can't, really even get still enough. And that was just 3 breaths. I took 3 nice long breaths. I hope you did too. All right, let's get down to the task at hand. 4 mistakes you're making in your weekly schedule. Absolutely. Are you bringing your best self to everything, or are you just scrambling to get by? If you have the wrong priorities, I bet you're just scrambling to get by. Wrong priorities might not mean that you got to scrap everything and start fresh. You just might have to reorganize, reorder, or adjust some of your boundaries around things. Time boundaries, energy boundaries, emotional boundaries, and financial boundaries, of course. Everything needs to be tweaked just a little bit to meet your needs, rather than you running around and meeting the needs of others. So let's take another look at that. Here we go. If you are not scheduling self-care time, whatever that self-care means, but honestly, moms complain about not getting showers. That's got to move a little bit higher up on the to-do list, I think. If it's, something that's going to make you, I know I'm worthless without a shower. Let's get you to your best self so that you can serve everyone better. If you're not putting your self-care time down on your calendar and honoring it, just like you would honor another appointment with someone else, you are doing yourself and your business and your family a disservice. If you are not using your routines properly, morning, evening, afternoon routines, what are you doing? And it doesn't have to take up the whole morning, and it doesn't have to be really intense or complicated. But what are you doing in the morning to shift yourself from sleep to ready to move, eat, and think, right? In the morning. What are you doing? Afternoon, same thing. What are you doing to transition out of probably some really intense productivity in the morning? Got a lot of stuff to get done every morning, right? And move into a more relaxed, focused, yet not intense afternoon. Same thing with your evening routine. What are you doing to shift out of work mode and into family mode or home mode? And if you don't have proper routines for your diet and exercise, like knowing what you're going to eat, knowing what you're going to exercise on any given day and have it in your planner, then you're completely doing yourself a disservice. Otherwise it won't happen. And we all know this, but it really starts with telling ourselves the bigger why. Why am I doing all of this? Why do I need to invest in myself? It's so I don't burn out and then neglect something else. Why do I need to make routines important instead of just flying by the seat of my pants or responding to everyone else's thing before I, kind of get myself into that space? I really think that our technology has done a little bit of a disservice to us in expecting that we will be on call all the time. And that's another priority that we need to reassess. If I'm not taking care of me and my immediate needs and the immediate needs of my household, and then being able to respond to the outside world, what am I doing? It can definitely be like you're working for somebody else's priorities, right? You with me? The next mistake, you are overbooked, girl. Absolutely. If your calendar is completely full, if you are scrambling from one thing to the next all the time, if you're not giving yourself time in between to transition, such as morning, evening, and afternoon, you could even have a between meeting type of transition or a meeting to computer work transition or whatever your business entails. If you're not giving yourself recovery time because you have overextended yourself, it's like, okay, I know I'm going to have an intense couple of work weeks here. How can I allow myself to recover from that? I have to say no to a few other things, right? Talk about more about that in a moment. Other people have too much access to your schedule. If you have a wide open schedule where people can just grab chunks of your time and then you fit your work in between, that's really not gonna work for you to be your most productive, to get your best deep work done. We'll talk more about that too. You try to squish it all in on the weekend. Yeah, not a good idea to have your weekend full of chores, weekend full of catch up, weekend full of emails, a weekend full of anything you don't want to do. And also, a weekend isn't necessarily for not doing anything either. I feel like we all need a little bit of work, play, and rest every day, but to not have any one parts of parts of that life over dominate in the bigger picture. Every day you're not going to be able to have equal parts of work, play, and rest, but I think we all feel good when we can get a little bit of productivity done and a little bit of enjoyment and then a little bit of sleep, right? All right, next mistake, no optimization. You have not taken an evaluative look at how you're doing things and really try to revamp it. You'll be amazed. Theme days. So now this doesn't mean the entire day or any one, major part of your day, but theme days, Mondays, admin day, Tuesdays, deep work day, Wednesdays, client proposals, or, I'm just making stuff up for you. But if you focus on certain areas on a regular basis and can feel like you're always on top of it, yet you don't have to have it consume you and always be frantically chasing it, theme days really help with that. Deep work days. So I mentioned that as a theme day, but you can have deep work one day a week, maybe. For me, it's usually like a Thursday or a Saturday. You could have just portions of a day be a deep work portion of the day. And you probably are picking the wrong time of day to do some of your activities. Or maybe you just don't have that much of a grasp on your schedule where your stuff gets shoved all over the place and you have to slog through it, even though your mind and your spirit maybe want you to be doing something else. Also, a lack of planning. If you're not looking ahead, a month ahead, 2 months ahead, 3 months ahead, and you don't have to have every little thing planned out, but you need to know what the major goals are and where they fit in and how you're going to get there, at least, and start making that plan. Another mistake, you self-sabotage. Yeah, we all do it. Everybody does it. It doesn't matter. This is the way that we trick ourselves into certain things. I could talk about self-sabotage. Procrastination is one of them. I'm not saying procrastination is necessarily bad, but it can get out there. It really can. It can really rob you of time and motivation, mental energy. And speaking of wasting effort or being inefficient, if you're opening the same emails 3, 4, 5 times and never responding, or pushing papers around on your desk, never really filing anything or getting a system down for how you're going to deal with things, and you're just always, could have been done better, easier, faster, that's going to hold you back for sure. How about perfectionism? Feeling like you have to be perfect before you do something. That's not fun. That's no way to live. And also, if you think that your work is too boring, or that you're too boring, or something like that to actually be worth putting the effort into, is that really true? I don't know. I've gotten to know a lot of people in my client coaching over the last almost 15 years now. No one's boring. I think y'all are fascinating. And that is part of, what we kind of tell ourselves so that we don't require ourselves to go to that next level. And if you don't have a hold on your schedule, then how are you going to actually really show up and function well? You're going to show up, you're going to be tired, you're going to be late, you're going to be unprepared, or all three, right? All right, so how do we fix all this? First up, you have to rethink those priorities. You've got to really determine the purpose for things. You're not just working out to work out. You're not just meditating to meditate. You're not just, doing your work for no reason. You have to get real about, okay, why do I need to include this so I can show up better in my life? I know that this makes me better in my life. Where do I need to show up and do that? Where do I need to put more time and effort forth and reprioritize for that reason, your kids or an upcoming event or something, but not just because you want to lose weight or because you want to do, get healthy or something. It's not good enough. So schedule your self-care throughout the day. That just means 5 minutes of taking a moment and focusing in on you. It's really important. And then I also want you to amp up your routines. Get better at those morning, afternoon, and evening routines. Really have a purpose of, okay, when I get up and before I serve my kids breakfast, here's how I want to transition and become that awesome breakfast mom, right? Whatever it is. Same thing with the afternoon. I know I always slump in the afternoon. What can I do to amp up my energy? What can I do to make myself less depleted? What can I do that's easy and fun? And same thing in the evening. How do I switch out of, my work mode and enjoy my life and relax and take it all in and make it worth, all of the work, right? Same thing with your diet and exercise. How do I make my kitchen routine more efficient, more automatic, more systematized? How do I make sure that I'm doing the right types of exercise and mixing it up? And when do I fit that into my schedule? And if you get those things in, you're going to be so much better at whatever your work is or when you are with your family. All right, number 2, manage your time. Manage your time. Time is the only resource that is not renewable. You never get it back. Never. And the past doesn't exist and the future hasn't arrived. And when it does, it all happens now. So I want you to every, transition might be, everyone says, 50 minutes, 117 minutes, whatever it is. Put some transition time in between what you're doing. Move through your day in different modes. Leave space in your schedule after commitments that drain you. So if you have like back to back Zoom meetings and it's going to just completely wipe you out, don't schedule dinner for that night out or something. Take some time and regroup yourself. I want you to honor the time that you have, the time that you really enjoy, rather than giving it away to other people's agendas. Most of the things, and especially if I were to peek at that calendar, are not moving your needle forward, they're moving someone else's. Rethink that. Don't give it away. Protect your time so much. Keep some evenings and parts of the weekend unscheduled. Block it out for nothing, for relaxation, for staring at the walls, for tea time, for whatever you want. And don't give it away. And don't go, well, yeah, I guess I'm not doing anything. No, that's your time. Take it. And if you do decide to do something with that time spontaneously, wonderful. If you don't, it's yours to do with as you please. Netflix, yeah, go for it. Binge whatever you want. It's your time. I think that is one of the reasons why we self-sabotage so much, is so that we can deliberately like knock out some time in our schedule, but just plan for it. All right. Work smarter, not harder. I want you to radically rethink how you're doing things and make sure that it's working for you, not you scrambling after it. I want you to step into each workday knowing that you're ready. So if you're going to structure that, then maybe that means you have to put X amount of time in on certain projects, and maybe you only focus on those things on those days. I don't know. Come up with something where you're optimizing and using deep work. So maybe that's in the morning. Like for me, 7 to 9 a.m. deep work is awesome for me at that time. So that means I have to reorganize kind of where I'm putting certain things. I'm not going to schedule anything in those hours, right? Maybe your power hour is 3 to 5 p.m. Don't schedule anything in those hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and just focus on deep work or uninterrupted work or free work. You need that deep time where you're not having all these distractions. Turn off everything on your laptop or on your desktop or whatever you have on your computer. No notifications. We don't need blinky beepies. We're not going to miss anything. I swear to God, I missed an appointment the other day and I got like 2 voicemails, 2 texts, and 2 emails about it within like 7 minutes. I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I don't know, just wow. You're not going to miss anything, okay? Arrange your day so that you are doing that important work when you're at your best, and get yourself to be at your best because you've self-care prioritized, right? And included that in your schedule. I missed that last one, but you can go back and look. Set yourself up for success. Number 4. How do you do that? How do you make sure that you can walk into your office and know that you've got it? First up, you need to spend time on important things that also make you feel great. So that could be taking baths. That could be going on hikes. That could be spending time with family, so that when you do sit down to your work or whatever task at hand, you feel great. That also includes diet, exercise, sleep. Yes. I want you to create systems to automate tasks so that you're more efficient, such as like template emails. I have templates for a lot of the emails that I send back and forth to my potential clients and current clients, so I don't have to start fresh every time. It makes things a lot faster. Make sure that you are getting things done, and if they're not perfect, it's okay. You can amend or correct or inform later or change or whatever. Nothing's perfect. Get over it. And then I want you to get excited about each thing on your calendar. How can I show up ready? How can I show up bringing something extra? How can I show up in a manner that's ready to serve? And get excited about it. If you dread every moment of your life, then what the hell are you doing? And it's a choice. Absolutely. I hope that you really take a deep look at this one aspect of your day-to-day life, your calendar, your schedule, your time. Time is energy, and we only get so much of it. Absolutely. It moves on. Sometimes I'm like, why can't I just pause this? It's so great right now. I want to hit pause, or I want to catch up. I always feel like I'm 2 weeks behind or something. And if you can get your handle on your time and not give it away to the wrong things, spend time on the right things, and then say, that you're just going to keep the rest of the world right out here. And then you can interact with it, but it doesn't get prioritized over other important things like you resting or you catching up on, things that are important in your life. You can't be everything to everyone, and that's certainly true. So make sure that you are your best when you do choose to show up, and be really, really vigilant about where you choose to show up in your life, and be your best when you do. All right. That's all I've got for you today. Next week, join me because I'm going to be talking about how to double your energy levels. Let's take this up a notch because, yeah, then maybe you can handle more and be more on top of things and not feel like you're scrambling all the time. All right. Until then, be well. Thanks for joining me.